conference is recorded. So those of you who don't like it, then please then switch off yourself. But it is recorded and it will be screened also globally, so that you know. Let's have a short introduction from my part. Today we will have an all-women's conference on Kashmir, organized by the team of the Kashmir Council AU in Brussels. Mr. Ali Raza Sayed is chair of the Kashmir Council AU and lobbying for international solidarity with Kashmir people for many years already. He does so in cooperation, of course, with others. For example, with NGOs like Amnesty International and Human Rights Watch, or think tanks like the International Crisis Group, and activists and spokespersons from the Kashmiri diaspora, and media and researchers, and of course, members of European Parliament. In many conferences, men are the dominant actors, and yes, men and women have to work together to achieve results. But today I request the men to merely listen, as first of all the women are the ones to be heard and seen today. And I hope, of course, for so many days and months and years to come. But please feel free in the session after the speeches of the guests, of the female guests, also to come in. Men and women, all you are welcome.
You here continuing to do that work is just so reassuring because you have such a deep and rich understanding of the Kashmiri conflict. So I'm very grateful for you to moderate this. And then, of course, for Ali Raza Sayed for giving us a platform to speak about these issues. It's been invaluable to the Kashmiri cause to keep it alive, to keep people discussing these things. So a brief introduction. My name is Kaula Siddiqui. I'm a Kashmiri. I was born in Srinagar. I am a co-founder of SILK, which is the Students International League for Kashmir. It was an NGO to bring grassroots awareness across campuses. Usually students are one of the most politically engaged people in communities, so we really wanted to spread the awareness.
Here's another point that I like what Prasanna said, was that there have been so many conferences, like ever since, this Kashmir conflict started, especially since the 1980s. And I've attended a couple of them myself as well. Even though there has been some positivity that came out of it, in the sense that the mass graves issue was highlighted throughout the world. The only thing we can do, and it's a global world now, and the best way to bring forward these kind of issues is to bring it out on that stage, to let people everywhere. Look, I live in Canada, but almost everybody I talk to is Canadian, don't even know where Kashmir is. So at the ground level that I am at, I talk about these things, and people are horrified when they hear this. So this is me, just one person reaching out to people with a similarly, I think.
And we need to keep on talking about the issues which are extremely human. It is not just a territorial conflict, a geographical conflict, strategic defense, and all that jargon that is important. It is so much a human conflict, and it is the humans of Kashmir that keep on suffering. The recent ceasefire that has been discussed in the media, that both DGMOs of Pakistan and India decided to cease fire on LOC.
Came out and they were very vocal. So they started mentioning these words, which was not familiar to the rest of the world. And fortunately, I had a chance to visit other side of Kashmir as well, and I met many women who are being known as half widows, half wives. It doesn't only exist in Indian occupied Kashmir, but I have met a few half widows, half wives across the line of control. Because when I was serving as a chairperson commission on status of women, I had an opportunity to visit.
Same is happening with the farmers, same is happening with the Kashmiris. And I want to tell from this very floor, if you are of kind of approach in a state system paradigm, it will become a monster which is going to engulf its own self, and it's not going to lead you anywhere. Regarding Kashmir, let me come down to Kashmir. Let me come down to women in Kashmir. When I am sitting in Kashmir, I am talking about Kashmiri women sitting here. I really want to represent the voices of the women. Like, not only from the Muslim community, but also the Kashmiri Pandit women who were part of the Muthi migrant camps, Purku migrant.
Of today's webinar, a subject very close to my heart, and Assalamu alaikum and greetings to all the participants of this webinar. And I feel privileged to be sharing this dais with very professional, very strong women around, and who have done great advocacy for the rights of women and for human beings around the world. And because 8th of March was a day which was commemorated as the day for...
We are talking about the destiny of 13.5 million people on the both sides of line of control. We are talking about an area in the world where your childhood gets straight away, transformed into your old age because your youth keeps lying in the graveyards of silence. And when we are talking about Kashmir conflict, we are basically, I would like to highlight, let's talk about the broader perspective of it. And I would like to highlight the broader perspective because
आज जो वुमेन कॉन्फ्रेंस कश्मीर काउंसिल EU ने ऑर्गेनाइज की थी, इसमें श्रीनगर से, कनाडा से, US से, हॉलैंड, इस्लामाबाद, मुजफ्फराबाद और हर जगह से ख्वातीन ने उसमें भरपूर शिरकत की। और ये हमारा जो मकसद है वो ये है कि जो वॉइस ऑफ विक्टिम्स है, जो कश्मीरियों की वॉइस है और खासकर जो ख्वातीन की वॉइस है, उसको यहाँ के ऐवानों तक पहुँचाएं। कश्मीर काउंसिल EU हमेशा इस तरह की एक्टिविटीज करती रहती है और हम कोविड के बावजूद जिस तरह की भी एक्टिविटीज कश्मीर काज को हाईलाइट के लिए करने के लिए हो सकती है वो कर रहे हैं। और इंशाल्लाह ये सिलसिला जारी रहेगा जब तक कश्मीरियों पे सफरिंग खत्म नहीं होती, जब तक उनको बुनियादी हक नहीं मिलता। कश्मीर काउंसिल EU इस जदोजहद को जारी रखेगी।